The biosphere is the global sum of all ecosystems. It can also be termed the zone of life on Earth, a closed system, and largely self-regulating. By the most general biophysiological definition, the biosphere is the global ecological system integrating all living beings and their relationships, including their interaction with the elements of the lithosphere, hydrosphere, and atmosphere. The biosphere is postulated to have evolved, beginning with a process of biopoesis or biogenesis, at least some 3.5 billion years ago. The earliest evidences for life on Earth are graphite found to be biogenic in 3.7 billion-year-old metasedimentary rocks discovered in Western Greenland and microbial mat fossils found in 3.48 billion-year-old sandstone discovered in Western Australia. In a general sense, biospheres are any closed, self-regulating systems containing ecosystems, including artificial ones such as Biosphere 2 and Bios 3, and, potentially, ones on other planets or moons. Origin and use of the term biosphere was coined by geologist Edward Suess in 1875, which he defined as the place on Earth's surface where life dwells. While this concept has a geological origin, it is an indication of the effect of both Charles Darwin and Matthew F. Maury on the earth sciences. The biosphere's ecological context comes from the 1920s, preceding the 1935 introduction of the term ecosystem by Sir Arthur Tansley. Vygotsky defined ecology as the science of the biosphere. It is an interdisciplinary concept for integrating astronomy, geophysics, meteorology, biogeography, evolution, geology, geochemistry, hydrology and, generally speaking, all life and earth sciences. Narrow definition. Geochemists define the biosphere as being the total sum of living organisms. In this sense, the biosphere is but one of four separate components of the geochemical model, the other three being lithosphere, hydrosphere, and atmosphere. The word ecosphere, coined during the 1960s, encompasses both biological and physical components of the planet. The Second International Conference on Closed Life Systems defined biospherics as the science and technology of analogues and models of Earth's biosphere. That is, artificial Earth-like biospheres. Others may include the creation of artificial non-Earth biospheres for example, human-centered biospheres or a native Martian biosphere as part of the topic of biospherics. Gaia hypothesis. During the early 1970s, the British chemist James Lovelock and Lynn Margulis, a microbiologist from the United States, added to the hypothesis, specifically noting the ties between the biosphere and other Earth systems. For example, when carbon dioxide amounts increase in the atmosphere, plants grow more quickly. As their growth continues, they remove more and more carbon dioxide from the atmosphere. Many scientists are now involved with new topics of study that examine interactions between biotic and abiotic factors in the biosphere, such as geobiology and geomicrobiology. Ecosystems occur when communities and their physical environment work together as a system. The difference between this and a biosphere is simply the biosphere is everything in general terms. Extent of Earth's biosphere. Every part of the planet, from the polar ice caps to the equator, features life of some kind. Recent advances in microbiology have demonstrated that microbes live deep beneath the Earth's terrestrial surface, and that the total mass of microbial life in so-called uninhabitable zones may, in biomass, exceed all animal and plant life on the surface. The actual thickness of the biosphere on Earth is difficult to measure. Birds typically fly at altitudes of 650 to 1,800 meters, and fish that live deep underwater can be found down to -8,372 meters in the Puerto Rico Trench. There are more extreme examples for life on the planet. Ra 1/4 ppell's vulture has been found at altitudes of 11,300 meters. Bow-headed geese migrate at altitudes of at least 8,300 meters. Yaks live at elevations between 3,200 to 5,400 meters above sea level. Mountain goats live up to 3,050 meters. Herbivorous animals at these elevations depend on lichens, grasses, and herbs. Microscopic organisms live at such extremes that, taking them into consideration, the thickness of the biosphere is much greater. Culturable microbes have been found in the Earth's upper atmosphere as high as 41 km. It is unlikely, however, that microbes are active at such altitudes, where temperatures and air pressure are extremely minor and ultraviolet radiation very intense. More likely, these microbes were brought into the upper atmosphere by winds or possibly volcanic eruptions. Barophilic marine microbes have been found at more than 10 km depth in the Mariana Trench. In fact, single-celled life forms have been found in the deepest part of the Mariana Trench, Challenger Deep, at depths of 36,201 feet. Microbes are not limited to the air, water or the Earth's surface. Culturable thermophilic microbes have been extracted from cores drilled more than 5 km into the Earth's crust in Sweden, from rocks between 65-75 degrees Celsius. Temperature increases with increasing depth into the Earth's crust. The rate at which the temperature increases depends on many factors, including type of crust, rock type, geographic location, etc. The greatest known temperature at which microbial life can exist is 122 degrees Celsius, and it is likely that the limit of life in the deep biosphere is defined by temperature rather than absolute depth. Our biosphere is divided into a number of biomes, inhabited by fairly similar flora and fauna. On land, biomes are separated primarily by latitude. Terrestrial biomes lying within the Arctic and Antarctic circles are relatively barren of plant and animal life, while most of the more populous biomes lie near the equator. Terrestrial organisms in temperate and Arctic biomes have relatively small amounts of total biomass, smaller energy requirements, and display prominent adaptations to cold, including world-spanning migrations, social adaptations, homeothermy, estivation and multiple layers of insulation. Specific biospheres. For this list, if a word is followed by a number, it is usually referring to a specific system or number. Thus, Biosphere 1, the planet Earth. Biosphere 2, laboratory in Arizona, United States, which contains 3.15 acres of closed ecosystem. Bios 3, a closed ecosystem at the Institute of Biophysics in Krasnoyarsk, Siberia, in what was then the Soviet Union. Biosphere J, an experiment in Japan. Extraterrestrial biospheres. No biospheres have been detected beyond the Earth. Therefore, the existence of extraterrestrial biospheres remains hypothetical. The rare Earth hypothesis suggests they should be very rare, save ones composed of microbial life only. On the other hand, new research suggests that Earth analogues may be quite numerous, at least in the Milky Way galaxy. Given limited understanding of abiogenesis, it is currently unknown what percentage of these planets actually develop biospheres. It is also possible that artificial biospheres will be created during the future, for example on Mars. See also. References. External links, Biosphere definition, article on the biosphere at Encyclopedia of Earth, globio.info, an ongoing program to map the past, current and future impacts of human activities on the biosphere. Paul Crutzen interview, Freeview video of Paul Crutzen, Nobel laureate for his work on decomposition of ozone, talking to Harry Kroto, Nobel laureate by the Vega Science Trust. Atlas of the Biosphere.